name. If you could just confirm if you have a name on the screen, that name is correct. If not, if you could just give me your full name and let me know who you're representing here today, whether you're the applicant, owner, someone else connected to the project, or a neighboring property owner, or someone else in the community. So we'll start with Allison Hess.
Hi, yes, that's correct. And I'm a neighbor to the back at 3587 Bayard Drive.
Okay, great. Welcome. We also have Bob, is it Frigoli?
Frigol.
Frigol.
But that's most people say Frigoli, but it's Frigol. So I am the new owner of the Raymar property. Living in Hyde Park, but we're moving across town.
Okay, great. Welcome. Looks like we also have two individuals under the name Brad.
Yes, Brad Ewing and Joseph Calibert. We're with the architects for the Frigols with ESM Architects.
Okay, great. Welcome. And I'm sorry. I was letting someone in here as you said your names. Could you repeat your names for me?
Sure, it's Brad Ewing and Joseph Calibert.
Could you spell your last name for me?
I'll do mine. E-W-I-N-G.
And then mine is C-A-L-L-E-W-A-E-R-T.
Okay.
Good luck.
Great.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done enough of these. I'm becoming like a linguistics expert here. All right. I see we also have John Warrington.
This is John Warrington.
Hi, John. I'm the zoning hearing examiner. I'll be presiding over the hearing. I'm getting everyone checked in now. If you could just confirm, it sounds like you have already. John Warrington is your name. And are you a neighboring property owner? Is that right?
I'm a neighboring property owner. That's correct.
Okay. All right. Great. Welcome. And then we also have Matt Lascheid, who has joined us. He is from the city planning department and has prepared a staff report in regard to this application. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you, Mr. Sturkey. Hi, everybody.
And we also have Ashton Tucker, who's just going to be observing. She's a colleague of mine in the city law department. Okay, on the applicant owner side here, are we expecting anyone else to join before we get started?
No.
Okay, all right, great. Let's go ahead and get into it then. I need to read through our hearing script. This just covers the procedure for the hearing, and then we'll begin. So this is the April 16th, 2025 session of the zoning hearing examiner docket. Again, my name is David Sturkey. I'll be presiding over the hearing. Case before us today is case number ZH20250031. That's 3568 Raymar Boulevard. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and other parties to testify and to offer and refute testimony and evidence. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the zoning hearing examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any other party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. So for our purposes here today, I'll allow Mr. Frigol and Mr. Ewing and Calawart to talk at that time. One of you can speak, all of you can speak, however you want to orient your presentation is up to you. Typically, folks will tell me about any background on the project they think is important, what exactly the project is that they're proposing, the zoning relief that they're here for, that they're requesting, and then, of course, why they believe that zoning relief is appropriate and why that should be approved here today. So after the applicant has had a chance to make that presentation, I'll then turn it over to the public. I'll allow our folks here that are neighboring property owners to provide any testimony after the applicant had presented its case. I'll then turn it over to Mr. Lascheid to provide any testimony in addition to his staff report. In the event that any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to this application, the applicant will have an opportunity to respond to that testimony that was offered in opposition. And then finally, the applicant will have an opportunity to make any closing statements. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make any comments. In the event of any technical difficulties, I'll do my best to troubleshoot those issues on the fly, but to the extent there's some defect that prevents us from meaningfully going forward with this hearing, I may continue or postpone the hearing at my discretion. Okay. The last thing I need to do is just swear in all of our witnesses. So if you intend on providing any testimony here today, making any comments, asking any questions, really doing anything other than just strictly observing, then the zoning code requires that I swear you in. So if that's you, if you could, I'm going to collectively swear all of those people in right now. If you're not sure if you're going to provide testimony, I can swear you in later, but if you know you'd like to offer something, if you could go ahead and take yourself off of mute now. I'll need everyone to raise their right hand and answer out loud. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you shall provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
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 Great. Thanks, everyone. All right. Let's see. Are the applicants ready to proceed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It
We're gonna
looks
let
like Mr. Ewing,
Brad take it.
the owner is pointing to you, so I'll turn it over to you. The floor is yours.
Great. And will you have our application material available to show or not?
Yeah, if you'd like me to share something, I can do that.
Okay. Yeah, we've been working with Bob and Lori Bergol on a new house for this site, and the site is a little bit unique in that it's pretty large, it's heavily wooded, and has a fair amount of rise and fall towards the street. The house, we're in the process of designing and finishing up drawings for the house. The house is conforming. There's nothing about the house that's non-conforming. So the house conforms to all the zoning requirements and setbacks, et cetera. So the reason we're here today is just in regards to the swimming pool that's proposed. And basically, the building location is pretty well established as far as where on the property it kind of makes sense to put a house. There's actually already an existing house that's built there. And so it's towards the rear of the property. So I don't know if you want to pull that up to show that, if that's easy, but
I'm sorry. Do you just want me to pull up the site plan? Is that what you're suggesting?
yeah, that would be great if you wouldn't mind. I can just reference it.
Yep.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
So there's a sort of a dark shaded area, which is the proposed footprint of the house. And underneath that, you can kind of see the dash line, which is the existing house. And then obviously the blue area is the swimming pool. But in the design process, once we determine that this is the spot to put the house, it's similar to where the existing house is, then you kind of have to decide how does the house get oriented. And on that page, north is up and south is down. So the front door and the entry to the house is towards the south, which is similar to what the existing house has. And so, but that's kind of backwards as to how you might do it if you were just doing like a neighborhood house, like a lot of the other houses in the Raymar area. And so, but once you've established that the front of the house is sort of facing south and east, and the back of the house is facing north and west, that pretty much dictates you're not going to put your swimming pool in the front of your house. You're going to put your swimming pool more towards the rear of your house. So the issue is the zoning code would suggest and require that a swimming pool always occurs in the rear yard. So we're here for relief in this case because our swimming pool is not in the rear yard based on the position of the house.
Gotcha. So this is Raymar here, correct?
Correct.
And so the house is oriented towards this back driveway as sort of the functional front of the house. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, but because of its orientation to Raymar, this is technically sort of a front side yard, even though the house is oriented the other direction.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Okay, so typically this would be required to go somewhere back here behind the house.
Right. I mean, if somehow we had put the house closer to Raymar, that our pool position is actually not, there's nothing inherently wrong with our pool position as far as the site goes. It's just based on where the house needed to be makes our pool non-conforming. So that's one kind of reason for requesting relief. The other thing that we worked closely with Matt in the city with zoning to try to meet the design goals that the for goals have, but also meet the city's goals for the neighborhood. And if you look at the position of the house, or the pool, it really backs up to other backyards. So that's another reason that we thought that it was, acceptable and positive for the neighborhood. We're not like asking to put it in a position that would be backing up to somebody's front yard or even side yard. We're really backing up to other backyards for those houses that are on Victoria, which one would be Mr. Wasserman. So that's essentially the short version, the simple version of what we're asking for, why we have to ask for it, and what we try to do to address the position as it relates to other properties.
Okay. Could you tell me more about what's surrounding here? Are there going to be any potential adverse impacts for property owners along the north here?
It's mostly, it's tree lined. Everything to the west is very wooded, and everything to the north there's tree line. It's rear yard. So in addition to the cover that's already there, the for goals plan on landscaping around the pool as well.
Got it. Is the pool visible from Raymar, or is it going to be visible?
It won't be visible because of the density of the trees. It'd be hard to see it.
Okay. Do you have a drawing that shows where the proposed landscaping will go?
If I could say something.
Ms. Warrington, just give me 1 minute. Once we get through the applicant's presentation, I'll give you an opportunity to.
Well, this is directly approaches that, because what he just said about visibility.
So, Mr. Warrington, I'm sorry, I have to throw you on mute just for a minute here. Just want to stay in order here. I will give you an opportunity to respond to anything that he said in just a few minutes. But back to Mr. Ewing, is there a drawing that demonstrates where the landscaping is proposed for the pool? Sort of. I see mention of a wire fence.
We don't have a landscape plan that we've submitted at this point.
Okay, got it. All right. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to tell me about the project?
I don't have anything else at this point.
Okay. All right, great. Okay, unless there's anything else from the applicants, we will move on to the public. Mr. Warrington, I'll give you a minute here, but I'm gonna go with Ms. Hess first. Ms. Hess, did you want to add anything to the conversation here?
I was more curious with the boundary area close to our yard. So I see the pools in the away from my yard. So that was just sort of information gathering. And then I would just say, kind of on behalf of a few neighbors, just privacy. We want to keep the trees, love the wooded area we're in. So I think having like the landscape plan, when you get to it, would be really appreciated. But those are the only comments that I have.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for being here. I appreciate your time and testimony.
Sure.
Okay, Mr. Warrington, if you want to unmute. I don't believe that I have you sworn in at the beginning. So we're going to go ahead and get you sworn in. If you could raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you shall provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, great. What would you like to tell us?
If you put the plan back up, it would be helpful.
Yep.
Yeah, the one that shows the adjoining lots. There we go. Yeah, that's perfect. They were talking about visibility from Raymar, and I own the lot 0298, which is the lot between Raymar and his back lot where the pool is. And there is no way that pool can be seen from Raymar. It's a completely wooded lot. And where the pool's going is actually up at a higher elevation than Raymar is. So it would be virtually impossible to see it from Raymar. And that was my only comment.
Okay. I guess then, is that lot vacant, 0298, or?
Yes, it's a vacant lot. That at some point I'm gonna expand my garage, which is I'm on lot 0057 on Victoria. And I own the whole corner, all three of those lots. And at some point I'm gonna expand my garage back onto that lot a little bit. But aside from that, it's a vacant lot.
Okay, got it. All right, great. I appreciate you adding that comment in
Okay,
and for being here. Thank you.
thanks.
All right, I'm going to turn it over to Matt and from the planning department. Matt, you want to add anything here?
Sure. Yeah, appreciate the opportunity, appreciate the applicant's testimony. I generally would say as staff, we agree with the testimony provided by the applicant team here. The zoning code requires that swimming pools be in the rear yard. It's for, it's generally a private location where it's not going to be visible or audible from neighboring properties or the right of way, but there's sometimes times where those regulations just don't work. This property is kind of unusual for several reasons, as the applicant outlined. There's an existing shared driveway with an easement that's already been recorded, and the driveway is existing and it goes around to the back of the property. It takes up almost all of the rear yard. So there's no way to have a swimming pool without substantially altering or removing the driveway that's already existing. And then we look at, would the proposed location in line with the purpose and intent of the regulations? I believe it is. It's surrounded by tree cover in a relatively private area. It is adjacent to other rear yards, and it is functionally the rear yard of this home because it's on the side opposite the front door elevation. So technically it doesn't meet the zoning code requirements for swimming pool locations, but our opinion is that it does meet the standards for variances and staff recommends approval.
Got it. Okay. Does the staff have any notes or any position on the landscaping plan for the pool?
No, landscaping has not been submitted. Our analysis was based on the existing landscaping. So I suppose it might be worth confirming if that existing landscaping is to be maintained or if there will be any new landscaping.
Okay, great. Thanks, Matt. All right, I'm going to turn it back over to the applicants here. Anything you want to say in response to any of the comments you heard?
Bob, do you have anything you want to share at all?
Yeah, just a few thoughts from Lori and I. So as I said at the beginning, we're 16-year Hyde Park residents. We live over off of Grandin on Ambleside, and 35-year P&G family, retired 10 years ago. We're looking to move out of Cincinnati and decided years ago, no, we're here for the long run. So hopefully that's a really long run. But the current house we live in right now has got 7 different levels built on a hill. It's perfect now, but probably may not be perfect, God willing, 20 years from now. So that's what we're looking to do, is to build that kind of that dream house. It's just Lori and I. We have 2 children. Bobby just moved here, lives in Hyde Park, moved here from California. We're tickled to death. It's life-changing having a child 5 minutes away. But he's not married yet. He has no kids, hopefully, yet. But this is the pool is, apart from a cool house, is another reason for him to come visit mom and dad. Our daughter Hannah lives in Chicago. She's got our 2 grandkids. It's another reason for them to come and maybe want to stay longer at Grandma and Grandpa's house. So we're really excited to move to the Victoria Street neighborhood. It's a classic neighborhood, just like ours is over on this side of Hyde Park. And I think we're going to improve the property, and we're good neighbors. So we're really looking forward to it.
Great. Thanks for sharing that. Mr. Ewing, anything further?
The only other thing I would say is just that, our whole approach with Bob and Lori's input has been, and the reason they like the property is the neighborhood it's in and the way it already exists with the, the heavily wooded and that kind of thing. So the design approach all along has been to sort of preserve what's there and try to work with what's there. And that dictated the orientation of the house. And so from a neighbor standpoint, if there was any concern, it would be, is it going to change? And the goal is that it won't change. So I think we're working in the same direction that I think the neighbors would want. So.
Okay, great. I think we can leave it at that. I appreciate everyone's time and testimony here today. I've had a chance to review the application materials and the staff report, and based on that and based on the testimony that I've heard here today, I agree that it would be impractical to try to strictly enforce the zoning code to this particular application, and so I'm going to approve the application. I need to formalize that approval in a written decision. And as soon as I finish that decision, I will put it into a PDF and I'll email it to everybody who's in the hearing here today. So you all have a copy of that really just moments after it's complete. That will include all of the reasoning and an outline, a summary of the proposal, as well as any conditions of approval. Let's see, as soon as you receive that, Matt can approve the zoning permitting on his end and you all can take the next steps. Are there any questions about that process or anything else from anyone?
I just want to say a big thanks, David, Matt, from the city standpoint, really appreciate it. And Allison, we haven't met yet, but I look forward to it. John, we met a week or so ago. Thank you for your support and your questions, and just really looking forward to it. I just appreciate everybody.
Great. Well, good luck with the project. Hope you all have a wonderful day. And John, did you want to add something?
No, I'm just going to say goodbye when we all hang up.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, let's do that then. We are adjourned. Goodbye, everyone.
All right.
Thank you.